Hey folks, just a quick video to show off my completed entropy. Proffieboard 18650 battery, external charge port, programming, and kill switch, so I don't have to open it up to reprogram the saber, turn it on and off, etc. Charge it. Starting from the top, we've got a Roman's balance pipe sleeve, a KR Saber's target exclusive blade plug, an MHS holder 22. I don't know if you can see, but it's got some pitting. I actually submerged it in aluminum black and then polished it back up again so I could still have this surface pitting but give it a shiny look. Try and match the age of the Canon flash body. There's some grime accumulation on the ridges of the choke here. Moving on to the Canon flash body, so I used the Canon flash body as it was. I didn't try and clean it up, so it's got lots of scuffs and scratches. There's some rust on it. I reused all the existing Canon flash body holes, so these are all the holes that were in there originally. I just enlarged them to use 440 and used some slotted countersunk flathead screws to give it a New Hope kind of feel. Moving on down to the Canon flash body, this used to have a dial that would adjust the flash sync. I put some reusable coffee filter mesh here, gold tone, weathered it up a bit, gave it a few drops of aluminum black and went on to give it a bit of age. And there's 2 rings of 4 pixels each behind this. The one thing I will say is that the diffusion isn't exactly as good as I'd like. You can see the pixels more than I would prefer, but that's about as good as I could get it. It only looks pretty good, but it could be better. Moving on to the other side of the Canon flash body, we've got the red test button is the activation. It's a little misaligned. I can't seem to get it to sit straight, but it's a vintage part. It's not always going to be perfect. We've got a 1.3mm charge port, a micro USB programming port. I thought about doing USB charge as well, but I didn't have a ton of space inside and I was worried about the heat of the charge adapter, so I decided to go for a separate charge and programming port. We've got the Canon clamp with a old Corband / Parks 2.0 clamp card cut to size. And then I've got an extra 440 screw here to secure the pommel to the body. The Canon flash body doesn't have a clamp like the Graflex does that keeps the 2 halves together. They're actually still loose all the time. This clamp just attaches this to the camera, I guess. So in order to keep this solid, I put in a 440 screw in there. But I love the clamp especially. It's got some really great age on it without sort of being too over the top weathered. It was pretty much spot on right off the top. I didn't have to do anything to it. I didn't want to clean it up either because I think this little rust, for example, looks great. Here's the other half of the Roman's balance pipe holding on the pommel. It's bolted to the Canon flash body using these 440 nuts and threaded rod that are then epoxied in so they can't turn out. I've got an MHS pommel 12 with some, again, the same technique, submerged in aluminum black and then polished up to give a shiny but weathered look with some grime accumulation in the grooves, and a pair of brass thumb screws to hold that to the Roman's balance pipe. And then I've got the D-ring and sound vent bottom, using the same thumb screw to hold the blade plug and the blade and its blade retention. So activation, like I said, is the red button. So I've got a 3-strip blade plug in here, doing a color cycle. So it was doing a slow cycle when the saber's off, then a fast cycle when the blade is on. But the cutout also goes to a fast cycle. You can see it better actually on my hand, the way it reflects, and then when I turn it off, it goes back to that flickering color cycle there, and then this has a really slow pulse up and down. I only have 2 fonts in here right now and then a battery meter. So I've got the Hatton font from Kyberphonic, the Slicer, Competent Slicer, and then I've got the Huntress, the Mira font.
I'm the best bounty hunter in this system, and that's not me bragging, that's fact.
And then I've also just got a battery meter where the emitter itself actually shows the battery, so as it drains, that emitter will change from green to blue to yellow to red. These stay constant throughout, And of course, we can color change them if we want to match the blade as we go through.
Atten Rand.
I'm Mira. I'm the best bounty hunter in this system, and that's not me bragging, that's fact.
I really like these two new fonts from Kyberphonic as part of his Old Republic series. They've got a great hum swing pair combination. It sounds lightsabery while still being different, and I think it fits the Old Republic look of the saber really nicely. So really like those two new fonts. They're going to be the sort of go-to for this saber. Got an aux button in the clamp here. And you slide the card down. There's a hidden tactile here. That is the kill switch. It's a bit too hidden. I've got to adjust it a bit. It's a bit hard to hit, but there you go. Now the saber's powered off. No need for a kill key, no need to unscrew anything, just power on and off by sliding that card down. And then I still have two buttons here in the main, which is very nice and clicky, you can hear it. And then the aux and the clamp card, which isn't as noisy, but it still has a good feel. So overall, I think this came together really nicely. And honestly, I think the Entropy is one of the most beautiful non-Canon lightsaber designs out there. I was really excited to get all the parts together to build one. Certainly it's not nearly as refined as some of the other examples out there, and the original of course, but I like reusing the internals. So this button and the cutouts here, that's all part of the Canon flash body. I just expanded these cutouts to use the programming and charge ports, and then I just have a tactile behind this red button. These are still the regular ports here, so I thought that added a lot of character. It kind of reminded me of the MPP saber with its open sync ports, so I wanted to reutilize those. And then overall, it just looks like it's old, it's been around, but it's very functional, and I think it's just got a great look with the elongated emitter and the Roman sleeve on top. And this Canon clamp is just gorgeous. The lever, the detailing on the clamp, the lines, it's just it's a beautiful piece, and it's exciting to have a lightsaber with some vintage parts in it. I think it looks great. It's something you can never really replicate with machine parts, I feel, when it comes to the sort of vintage look. At least not something I can do with my skills. Obviously people who have their own machine equipment, who've been doing this for a while, can come up with all sorts of really exciting looking stuff, but for me this is the closest I can get to you know, feeling like a real lightsaber prop. So it's pretty exciting. I like it quite a bit, and hope you guys like it too. If you have any questions, let me know.